It's 2025 and America's urban landscape is shifting. Cities once known for their vibrant culture and economic opportunities are now grappling with rising crime rates and social unrest. As we dive into the top 10 most dangerous cities in the United States, we're not just looking at statistics. We're exploring the complex web of factors that have led these urban centers to the brink. At number 10, we have Memphis, Tennessee. Once the home of blues and barbecue, Memphis now faces a different kind of music. The city's crime rate has skyrocketed, with violent offenses becoming an everyday occurrence. Local authorities struggle to contain gang activity that's spilled over from neighboring states, turning some neighborhoods into no-go zones after dark. Moving up to number 9, we find ourselves in Baltimore, Maryland. The city that inspired The Wire continues to live up to its gritty reputation. Despite efforts to revitalize its inner harbor, Baltimore's streets tell a different story. Drug-related crimes have surged, and the police force, understaffed and overwhelmed, fights an uphill battle against organized crime syndicates. At number 8, Detroit, Michigan holds its ground. The Motor City, once the beating heart of American industry, now pulses with a different energy. While parts of downtown have seen a renaissance, vast swaths of the city remain trapped in a cycle of poverty and violence. Abandoned factories serve as stark reminders of a prosperous past, now repurposed by criminal elements. Lucky number 7 brings us to St. Louis, Missouri. The gateway to the West has become a gateway to danger for many of its residents. The city's north side, in particular, has become synonymous with violent crime. Community leaders point to systemic issues like underfunded schools and lack of economic opportunities as root causes. But solutions remain elusive. Halfway through our list at number 6, we arrive in Oakland, California. The Bay Area's often overlooked sibling to San Francisco has seen its crime rate soar as housing costs push more residents into desperate situations. Tech wealth from across the Bay has created a stark divide, fueling resentment and property crimes. Breaking into the top 5, we have Chicago, Illinois. The Windy City's reputation for violence continues to grow, with certain neighborhoods becoming synonymous with danger. Gang warfare, often fueled by the drug trade, has turned some streets into virtual war zones. Despite increased police presence, the city struggles to stem the tide of violence. At number 4, we find ourselves in New Orleans, Louisiana. The Big Easy isn't so easy for law enforcement these days. While tourists still flock to Bourbon Street, residents in many neighborhoods live in fear. The city's unique culture and history now compete with headlines of violent crime, as poverty and lack of opportunities drive many to desperate measures. The bronze medal for danger goes to Cleveland, Ohio. This Rust Belt city has been hit hard by economic downturns, and crime has filled the void left by departing industries. Once proud neighborhoods now stand as shells of their former selves, with abandoned homes becoming hubs for criminal activity. Our runner-up at number 2 is Jackson, Mississippi. The capital of the Magnolia State has seen its crime rate blossom in all the wrong ways. Systemic poverty, coupled with a struggling education system, has created a perfect storm for criminal activity. The city's small size belies the intensity of its crime problem. And finally, at number 1, we have Gary, Indiana. Once a symbol of American industrial might, Gary now tops lists it never wanted to be on. The city's population has dwindled to a fraction of its peak, leaving behind a landscape of abandoned buildings and broken dreams. Those who remain face a daily struggle against violent crime, drug addiction, and a lack of basic services. But this isn't just a list of cities to avoid, it's a call to action. Each of these urban centers faces unique challenges, but they share common threads: economic disparity, failing infrastructure, and a lack of opportunities for young people create a breeding ground for crime. As we look at these cities, we must ask ourselves, how did we get here? What societal factors have contributed to this decline? And more importantly, what can be done to turn the tide? Some cities are taking innovative approaches. Community policing initiatives in Chicago have shown promise in building trust between law enforcement and residents. Detroit's urban farming movement is not just providing fresh food, but also a sense of purpose for many in the community. In Baltimore, grassroots organizations are working to provide after-school programs and job training for at-risk youth. These efforts, while small in scale, offer a glimmer of hope for a different future. But the challenges are immense. decades of neglect and systemic issues can't be solved overnight. It would take a concerted effort from all levels of government, private industry, and community organizations to effect real change. As we conclude our journey through America's most dangerous cities, it's important to remember that behind every statistic is a human story. These are not just dangerous places, they are homes to millions of Americans who deserve safety, opportunity, and hope. The question now is, will we as a society rise to the challenge? Will we invest in these communities, address the root causes of crime, and work towards a future where no city in America has to be on a list like this? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the status quo is not sustainable. These cities and the people who call them home deserve better. As we move forward, let's not forget the lessons learned from this list. Every city has the potential for renewal, for rebirth. It's up to all of us to make that potential a reality.